Alright, we have a Honda Rancher 420 is what we're working on today. I hope this helps somebody out, but I was having starter issues. You hit the button and nothing would happen. Battery was good. Was getting power to the starter relay. That was good. Had power going to the starter. That was good. So figured we better tear the starter off and see what's going on. On these Honda Rancher 420s, what I love about them is how easy they are to work on. The plastics on the side just come unclipped. No tools involved to do that. And it's a lot easier to get to that starter if you remove the air box. I had already removed the air box, but I'll show you what it requires to be removed. You'll actually only need a 8mm and a 10mm and a Phillips screwdriver to do this whole job. So it's not there's a plastic clip that goes there, and there's a plastic clip that goes there, and then there's a bolt that goes there, and then you unhook the intake tubes, and that's it. It pulls right out, not a problem. But I had already pulled the starter out, so I always like to stick something there so nothing can venture in the motor and build any nest or anything like that. But if you see in there, you can tell where the gear is. That's where your starter gear rides on there. And then there's your main power wire that hooks the back of the starter, and there's your ground wire, which hooks to the bolt that holds the starter on. Now, the most common thing when a starter goes out, almost on any ATV, is the brushes. Right there on this is where the brushes ride, and they're fairly simple to replace, and actually had already ordered the brushes anticipating that to be the problem. But then when I got into it, I found an issue that is pretty rare and you don't hardly ever see. The magnets had actually came loose inside of it, and that was actually locking the starter up where it couldn't spin over because all the magnets were coming loose. So yeah, if you look down in there, it's almost like they didn't let the glue set up or something, or didn't use the right glue. I'm not too sure what they did, but they didn't get them stuck, and they just all of them were just loose, pushing right out. Here's what them starter brushes look like. Armortech are great parts. If you got to rebuild one, I recommend them. I'll put a link down below on where you can get these starter brushes at. They're affordable and a lot cheaper than replacing your starter. I ended up having to replace the whole thing because of the magnet issue, obviously. But it's an aftermarket one. An OEM Honda one was like $300. That's why I highly recommend just rebuilding your OEM stock. You're always better to try to fix, if you can, fix your OEM Honda parts. If you try to put this in and don't want to go in, sometimes you need to pull it back out and maybe turn the gear just a little bit or give it a little bump, and she'll slide right into place. Yeah, it's just these two bolts that hold it in, one on one side. And then on the other side, before you put your bolt in, you need to slide it through that ground wire. If you don't hook this ground wire up, it ain't gonna, neutral lighting can come on, it ain't gonna start. So gotta make sure you get that hooked up. sure you get your hot wire hooked up. And a 10 millimeter socket will tighten up your 2 bolts and your nut for your power wire there. I always recommend, before you put everything together, to go ahead and give it a try. Just in case you get a bad starter, or you rebuilt it, or something didn't quite turn out right, it's always better to fix the problem now. And I always like to try everything out by doing a wheelie or something. Not too sure what it has to do with replacing a starter, but I hope this helped y'all. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe for more videos, and more important than anything, take the time to read your Bible. Have a blessed day.